Welcome to the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. My name is Spencer, and I am here as one of your hosts, and I am joined today by the other members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen who have come here today to give you another official name brand League of Melanated Gentlemen review of an MCU property.
This is Brandon.
And as always, I'm Jordan.
Now, a couple things we need to talk about first. You are probably wondering, if you don't already know, where you can talk to us, where you can communicate with us, where you can interact with us. And Jordan is going to tell you where you can do just that.
Yeah, so we are on Facebook, Twitter, and we are also on YouTube.
We're on X. On Twitter,
yeah.
On X.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's supposed to change the name of that. So we're on X. You can find us at the League of Melanated Gentlemen everywhere.
So with the name of Twitter is changing. Are tweets going to be called something else, or are they still going to be tweets?
Bro, it's so stupid. They still tweet. There's still a tweet button. Yeah. It's stupid.
Yeah, he doing what he wants over there. Also, let's throw it out there. People want us to join Thread. I mean, because Thread is a thing, or Instagram. Let us know. Maybe we might look into that a little bit. All these social media accounts, we just want to reach the people more. So if you're on that and you want us there, let us know.
If you feel like you're missing out on interactions with us because you don't have Facebook or you don't, frequent the Twitter or the YouTube, then yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah. But those are the places where you can find us. Also, don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. I think Stitcher is going away. But whatever other streaming service that you listen to the podcast at, be sure to, leave a review there. Don't forget, we have some reminders coming up. So this week you will hear, Brandon talk on his wrestling podcast. So we have Wrestling with Worldwide Willis. Brandon's weekly podcast where he talks about the latest events in the world of wrestling, and also he always gives his top fives. So yeah, be sure to check that one out. And then next week we have Spenser's podcast called DC Animation with Spenser and Friends. Spencer, what movie we got on the docket?
It will be Batman Year One.
Batman Year One. Yeah, Batman's first adventure out there is Batman. So be sure and watch that movie. After you watch it, be sure and tune into that episode and take a listen. And that's everything.
Alrighty. So, as I'm sure you knew by the title, we will be reviewing the newest MCU hotness, Disney Plus Secret Invasion. Jordan, could you please do me a favor and run the spoiler warning for us? Listen to these words, for they may determine your next course of action. This is your official name brand League of Melanated Gentlemen spoiler warning. We are issuing this spoiler warning not only for the piece of media or content that is in the title of this episode, but also for the world or the universe in which that piece of media or content exists. If you are not caught up, I would highly recommend you pause my voice, you catch yourself up, and then you join us once again. If you are all the way caught up, and or if spoilers do not offend you, please enjoy. And now with that, you should have already listened to our review of the first episode of Secret Invasion. We are going to be reviewing the rest of Secret Invasion, so episodes 2 through 6. If you've been with us through a review before, then you know that I am going to read a synopsis in my own words of the events that we watched happen. I will have I did my best to keep it tight for all of these, so we're just going to go straight down, and then we'll talk about all of it.
I feel like we should lay some smooth jazz music under when Spencer does a synopsis.
Have Spencer's Corner or something, Spencer's Table. Yeah, I don't know.
If that's something y'all want to hear, you can let us know on the Facebook or the Twitter or the YouTubes. So, episode 2 is called Promises. We open in 1995 with a recap of the events of Captain Marvel. In 1997, Nick Fury meets a young Gravik and makes a promise to find the Skrulls a new home. In the aftermath of the first episode, Nick Fury finds out from Talos that there are a million Skrulls on Earth. Gravik meets with the Council, and he is the general of the Skrull War now. Rhodey meets with Nick Fury and fires him for the Moscow situation. Sonya tortures a Skrull for information and finds out that Gravik is working on a machine to make Skrulls stronger. Gravik shows up to save him, but he kills him because he was out there snitching. Nick Fury pays a visit to Gravik's social worker, and it turns out that Nick Fury is married to her. Episode 3 is called Betrayed. We open to Beto being given an assignment, infiltrate the Royal Army. Gravik reveals to the Council that he plans to make all Skrulls into Super Skrulls. Gravik and Talos set up a parlay, but it doesn't go super well because Gravik keeps talking about killing Gaia. Nick Fury asks Talos for help, even though he really doesn't want to do that. They get information from Sonya about a naval officer named Bob, so they break into Bob's house to interrogate him to stop an attack. Bob ends up getting killed, but they are able to successfully stop the launch. Gravik kills Gaia for feeding Talos information. Episode 4, Beloved. We open to Gaia waking up after being shot because she enhanced herself. Priscilla and Rhodey meet at a church to discuss killing Nick Fury. He wants her to kill him, but she says that he's going to die on his own from exhaustion because he's all washed up. Little do they know that Fury is actually listening in. Talos and Gaia meet up, and he tells her his plan is to stop Gravik and appeal to the president, but she was hoping for a plan that was a little more robust. Nick Fury confronts Priscilla, and she reveals that she made a promise to never hurt him. They pull guns, but they don't shoot each other because of, love or whatever. Nick Fury meets with Rhodey to put a tracker in him, and Gravik posing as Russian terrorists attack the president. Nick Fury and Talos show up to save the president, but Gravik kills Talos. Episode 5, Harvest. We open to the president being rushed to the hospital in the aftermath of episode 4, and Nick Fury is right by his side. Gravik gets challenged by one of his soldiers and immediately kills him and orders the death of Nick Fury's wife. He then orders Rhodey to tell the president that there are Skrulls in Russia. Rhodey shows up at the hospital, and Nick Fury is there to greet him. He tells Nick Fury that the video of Maria Hill's death will make the entire Earth hate him so much. Sonya shoots a Skrull posing as an official in London, and Gravik gets jumped by his people, but he is simply too much for them. He kills Beto for his transgressions. Nick Fury has a chat with Gaia before heading to Finland, and Sonya has a talk with the doctors Dalton about their work with the Skrull enhancement. Gaia stops by Priscilla's house because she can help bury her father, and when the president wakes up, Rhodey tells him about the Skrulls in Russia in hopes that it will kick off World War III. Gravik calls Nick Fury and asks for the harvest in exchange for calling off World War III. Gaia and Priscilla put Talos to rest, and they are attacked at the house. But they are too much for the people that attack them, so they get out without any real issues. Nick Fury arrives in Finland and explains to Sonya that Rhodey is a Skrull and the harvest is a collection of Avengers DNA. Nick Fury gets it and calls Gravik so that they can meet. Episode 6, Home. We open to Nick Fury calling Priscilla, giving a final goodbye. Nick then shows up in New Skrullos, and Sonya has Rhodey move the president by telling him that Nick Fury is on the way, while Nick Fury is actually getting berated by Gravik. Nick Fury gives Gravik the harvest, and he runs it through the Super Skrull machine, and Nick is still inside of there. Just as he is about to kill Nick Fury, he gets a Shoryuken, because it turns out it was Gaia all along, which means that she got the powers too. Nick Fury is actually in the hospital explaining to the president that Rhodey is a Skrull and that he needs to call off the strike. Gaia and Gravik fight, and she ends up killing him, while Nick Fury kills Rhodey because he was a Skrull all along. Gaia frees all of the humans that the Skrulls kidnapped and impersonated, and the president delivers an address letting the world know that his mission is to hunt down and kill all of the aliens, or they need to get the fuck out. Nick Fury gives Priscilla another final goodbye, and Sonya strikes up a deal with Gaia. Nick Fury calls the president to tell him to call off the war against the aliens because a bunch of innocent people will die. And the president pretty much says, no, build the wall. Nick Fury is about to go back up into space, but Priscilla shows up and tells him that she is going to stop disguising herself and they are going to go have peace talks with the Kree. And that is Secret Invasion, episodes 2 through 6.
Round of applause.
Great job. Yeah.
Great work.
Great job.
Great work.
Well, thank
Once
you.
again.
So, should we just get into it? What did we think about this show, Jordan? No, Brandon, you never go first. Let's start with you.
Okay. We're starting hot takes first. I got plenty of them.
Okay.
This was an experience. This was one of the more boring Marvel properties we've had. I thought I will say I was right. This should have been a movie. This leans more to my argument of movie over TV show. I'll say that because Secret Invasion, as Jordan knows, as both Spencer knows, Secret Invasion is a global phenomenon, right? This, in the comic book level, this happened throughout, right? This wasn't just a Nick Fury focused thing that no Avengers were involved in. No, it happened. Everyone was involved in it. And the fact that Marvel thought it was a good idea to strip away all the best parts of that story and then just to make it about Nick Fury, Russia, U.S. relations, and like there was no point in this show I was like, damn, is he a Skrull? Is he like, I thought this show was gonna make it to where like we had anxiety, like, oh shit, was Tony a Skrull? Oh wait, was Cap a Skrull?
You cooking right now. Keep going.
That's what I expected from this show. This gave us none of that. The best anxiety we had was Rhodey. That's who y'all thought was going to really get people worked up about Skrulls or excited about.
And we definitely figured that out pretty early.
Yeah, like that was a layup. They gave it to us. So for me, again, this should have been a movie. They took something that is one of the most popular Marvel storylines in comic book history. They dumbed it down to the dumbest level and then put out a TV show. They basically was like, hey, Nick Fury, or hey, Samuel, like we want to build a show around you. How can we do this? Let's just do Secret Invasions. But we can't really do it at a global scale because we can't get all these actors to come be on this TV show. So let's dumb it down, you know what I mean, for budget purposes. And again, it was trash. Like this show, the best part of the show was the villain. He's killed. Well, again, when the best part of the show is the villain, he's murdered. That's just the natural formula. We get a trash CGI fight at the end. Again, Gaia, what are we doing? Like, this is stupid. People are talking about she's the most powerful person in MCU now. Like, it's a joke now. Like it's a joke now. Like the MCU is a joke at this point. Of guys, you're most powerful. It's a joke. So yeah, to me, my last thing, and this is my hottest take. Hey man, Samuel L. Jackson's cooked, man. That was one of the worst acting performances I've seen Samuel L. Jackson ever have. That shit was trash. And I noticed it mainly when he had that argument with Talos on the train. I was like, bro, are you phoning it in right now? Like, what are we doing? It was bad, bro. And I will point out, I don't point out other podcasts, but our main guy, Van Lathan, pointed this out as well. I noticed it myself, so it's not a copy. But he also pointed it out. He was like, Nick looking rough out here. Nick ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, Samuel ain't hitting like Samuel do. You know what I'm saying? And it just looked bad. Like, this was a bad performance, Samuel. Again, Tom Brady had bad games. We can call him out. So we can call out a bad actor, too. So I thought overall this is garbage.
Damn,
All right.
my boy Brandon's just spitting bars just now.
Jordan?
I mean, I am going to agree with a lot of what Brandon said. For me, Secret Invasion, I'm fine with it being a TV show. But they did not hit the thrill that I wanted. Like, I wanted to be on the edge of my seat. Like, who can I trust? Who do I think is a scroll? Who do I not think is a scroll? Like, I wanted to be able to have the up and down ride, the roller coaster of what Secret Invasion is. And it just did not deliver. And it's tough because I really wanted it to. And I don't know if it's a situation where they couldn't bring in, I mean, I know it's a situation they couldn't bring in a lot of the actors from the main movie, but we could at least introduce a lot more heroes or something. Give me like some B-list heroes or something, like just start introducing characters. And if they're scrolls, they can die. If they're not scrolls, bring them to the movies. Like, I wanted to see a little bit more. And I will say, like, from the beginning, like, even when we reviewed episode 1, you know, I know everybody kept saying that Nick Fury is washed up. I thought Nick Fury was just playing all along. Like, I thought he was going to switch it up on everybody, but no, he low key, he's still washed up. Like, and it sucks. Like, I guess it just really shows like the humanity of Nick Fury. Because honestly, by the end of it, I thought he was going to die, and I would have been completely fine if he died. But then I forgot we got Captain Marvel coming out, so I knew he was going. And then I realized, oh yeah, he's going to be in that. But as far as like, you know, Samuel's acting, I would say I really disliked the scenes where he was kind of talking with his wife. Like that, it almost felt forced. Like that was a forced relationship, and I don't know. I wasn't really feeling those scenes like that. And I don't know. This season, this series to me was rough. We should have rated it. We forgot to rate it before we talked about it.
We can do it after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
After
yeah,
our
I mean,
thoughts.
I'm with Brandon on this one. This one, it just wasn't hitting like I wanted to, unfortunately. Spencer, what do you think?
I didn't think that all of it was just trash, but I can't say that I just had a great time or that I just really enjoyed it. I will say, as far as expectations go, I'm pretty disappointed. I expected more from this, and I think that's just based on the source material. So I think that this was definitely a situation where they took something great and did a very poor adaptation of it, which we see all the time. Like, usually people will say the book is better than the movie, and this is a pretty standard case of that.
Right.
You know, we expect better from the Disney machine, and you know, the MCU industrial complex or whatever. But I didn't hate it. I will say, as far as the Nick Fury and Samuel L. Jackson parts of it, you know, they kept saying that Nick Fury was washed, and when watching this, I didn't see that. Like, it felt like Nick Fury was still pretty sharp, because I don't know that I'm able to, in the show, I don't know that there's anything specific that I'm able to point to that was just like, oh, Nick Fury is not the same. The only things that I guess you could point to is him, quote unquote, allowing people to die. But I mean, I don't know what proper Nick Fury would have been able to do about those.
This Nick Fury wouldn't have been able to get out of Winter Soldier when he was in the car scene. I feel like this Nick Fury wouldn't have managed it.
Bro, that's also a thing. There was no action scene to make you be like, oh shit, Nick Fury. Like, this is what you got to show.
He was doing regular Winter Soldier stuff.
Yeah, he didn't do shit action wise. He didn't do shit.
No, not at all. But yeah, and then as far as Samuel L. Jackson's acting, I just was like, I've seen better, but I'm not just like. I mean, it kind of felt like Samuel L. Jackson was just like sleeping through this, like just
thank you
reading the lines,
really want to do it. Yeah.
But
are you out your green ass mind or whatever the fuck he said? I was like, oh, Sam.
And that's the thing. I mean, a part of me wonders, was it Samuel L. Jackson or was it the material? Because I can't say that the material was great.
It wasn't. It was all the chords, all of them are at fault. But we expect Samuel L. Jackson to, whatever he's given to kind of take it up a notch. And that was
right.
I don't know what that performance was. That was the worst scenes in the show to me was when he was in it, honestly. Like the best scenes was when it was Talos, when it was the bad guy, when it was the my girl Olivia Colman, Sonya.
Oh yeah, Sonya. Amazing. I really liked her.
Yeah, she was amazing. The English woman.
SIS person.
Bro, she's better than Nick Fury.
Yeah, she was
10 times better.
She may have been. She was the standout for me. Like as far as people that like we hadn't seen before, like new characters. Oh yeah, she was one of the best parts in my opinion. I loved her, and I think she's great. Like she's my favorite character in this show.
Yeah, but like every scene she was in, she stole, like killed it. The bad guy, I thought the villain did a really good job. Like it like also another point where I saw like a difference in acting. That last like scene where he's like explaining to Nick Fury like why he's doing what he's doing, like why he's getting mad at him for not doing it. And just Nick Fury, I don't know, man. Samuel's just
bro, I ain't gonna lie, I thought Nick Fury was playing that whole time. Like, oh yeah, he definitely playing. He not really sick. Like I'm sure he playing. I'm like, yo, he really sick. Like, yo, he really out here dying.
Willingly locked into a nuclear, like, all right, bro.
But I guess
not.
Yeah, it really wasn't him. So I guess it makes up for it.
I mean, it's true. I mean, but still, the acting was poor.
Whenever Sonya was like, "Hey, why haven't you called anyone?"
Yes,
and he said, "This is personal." I was like, "Oh, that's what we're doing."
Yeah, okay.
But I'm glad that they addressed it because anyone would be saying like, "Hey, why didn't you call anyone?" Like that's one of those this doesn't make sense things, because if this is like a global situation where it is, affecting world leaders and it's, there's a true infiltration, then yeah, you would want to call in
everybody you can.
The heavy hitters.
I low-key wonder if Cap and Tony were alive, well, you know what I mean, active out here. Like if he would have did that. Because like, let's say somebody died. Let's say he doesn't save the day. There's this big ass bomb. Russia's getting bombed. There's a big ass World War III. Cap and Tony would have looked at that nigga like, wait a minute.
Why didn't you call us?
You didn't call us? Like, this is personal. You better get over that shit. What you mean? People dying. Like Maria Hill died. You know what I'm saying?
For no reason.
And Gravik did the shit he said he was going to do.
Exactly. My man did everything he said.
Gravik was putting Gravik killed Maria Hill. Gravik killed Talos, and he thought he killed Gaia, but if she hadn't enhanced herself, she'd be DED. So
yeah, you almost got the president too. Almost.
Yeah, Gravik was collecting bodies, and he spoke to that. To Samuel L. Jackson. So they kind of led me to believe that Beto was gonna be somebody, and he just wasn't.
Yeah. Nobody.
Because
nobody at all.
When we saw John Wick, the tracker was a new character that they introduced. That ended up being like important and that we ended up liking and all that. I thought Beto was kind of like placed into that role.
Yeah.
Nah, useless. Why was he in this movie? Or why was he in the show?
And why was he focused on so hard early on?
Like why do we know him by name? Why did we see him multiple times? Like what why did they try to make him seem important when he was literally irrelevant?
Bro, I just feel like they slid this by Kevin Feige's desk and was like, nah, don't let him see this. Don't let him see this.
Yeah.
Let him worry about Marvels.
I just also feel like they did a disservice to the Skrulls themselves. Like I thought they were going to make the Skrulls like a little bit better, but like by the end of it, they basically killed all the good Skrulls.
And the only
anybody we cared about is dead now.
I will say the only like ramifications from this are the president saying build the wall.
Right.
And which I guess is irrelevant because Nick Fury's leaving. Right. And the fact that there were random hit squads just killing people. Mm-hmm. Like those two things are two things that we need to like. I'm assuming that's what's going to lead us into New World Order.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I don't really know what I was supposed to come away with.
Yeah, it's literally we didn't really get much from this show, bro. Like we got people dying, but like overall scope, not much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and yeah, like as you spoke to earlier in the comic book, the ramifications from Secret Invasion were immense.
Game changing.
Nobody could trust nobody.
Nobody.
Like, stuff was it was really going down.
And one of the things that you spoke to is I wanted to wonder, like, oh my God, who's a Skrull, who's not, who like I wanted to not feel safe.
Be on the edge. Yeah.
With anybody. And because I was like, the only thing they could do at this point is make Sonya a Skrull, but obviously that's not the case because she's out here just merciless.
Secret agent.
Like there's
John
no protocol against killing Skrulls. So if you want me to enact my own, I can get it going right now.
Right.
And
they got off to a good start with making Ross. We didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, how long has Ross been a Skrull?
Yeah, because that's the thing. We don't know when people got captured, and yeah.
Well, we have an idea for Rhodey.
Yeah, like we don't know at what point stuff happened. So there's but yeah, and the fact that in that room, like we saw everybody, I was like, oh, okay, because I was also hoping we would see somebody in that room that we hadn't seen in the show yet, and I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah,
that's Skrull is still out there, but
they missed out. Like they missed out, man.
Because like if we had, for example, super random, the new like head of the Dora Milaje, like if she had been in there, and got saved, that'd have been crazy. Like, they're in Wakanda too, like, or just something like that. Like there was,
they could have had old girl from Thor's girl's friend. What's her name?
Oh, Darcy.
Like, what if you had her pull up, her walking around the camp? We'd all be like, "What the fuck?" Like, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, like, just they could have sprinkled in somebody,
bro. Just random cameos. It
was Marvel's dad. Like, it could have been like a bunch of just random people.
Bro, anybody. That would have created a whole conversation of like, okay, what the like?
Yeah, like that's what I wanted. So there were a lot of things I was hoping they would do, and then it just never happened.
Yeah,
and because there were a lot of ways I was like, okay, if they do this, we could get better. Like we can move in the right direction. But yeah, it just I mean, there were a couple of cameos. So like the dude with the plane from Black Widow, he showed up.
Yeah,
I liked him.
I don't remember him
from Black Widow.
So the dude Samuel L. Jackson got on the plane to go to Finland, and the dude that he was talking to.
Oh, is that where he was from?
Yeah, he was in Black Widow.
Bro, I did not know that.
That's because you don't care about female-led movies.
Exactly.
You purge them from your mind.
That's crazy.
And then the face tech from Winter Soldier and Black Widow, I guess.
What if we would have found out like Black Widow was in there like the real Black Widow, and then everything from Endgame didn't count.
Bro, what if the dude that ran the thing in the sky was in there? We'd have been like, what the fuck? Like bro.
There are a lot of things that they could have done. There are a lot of callbacks they could have made. Yeah, a whole lot of ways that this could have been better. There were a lot of people that they could have included, and like nobody. Like, what if John Walker had been in there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, I did want to mention, kind of like we talked about. Remember, it was I don't forgot what episode, but I mentioned that Kevin Feige told the director of the show to not read Secret Invasion's comics. That like when this ended, I was like, oh, you could tell this nigga didn't read, bro.
Very clear.
Yeah,
very clear that
he treated this like a, like a one-issue comic book run,
a very small scale.
Yeah, then like this game-changing, world-changing event. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that like sticks out to me. Kevin got to be required.
I forgot about that. I mean, with that, I guess we can give grace, but that
no, you got to read the source material.
No, I agree, but I'm saying like if the guy at the top tells you not to, then
that's on Kevin.
You do the best you can. So we can blame this from the top.
What did y'all think about that episode where we saw the Codex and it had like Groot and it had it wasn't Proxima Midnight, it was one of the other
Ebony Maw was in there.
Yeah, Ebony Maw, that's what I was thinking of. They had a Frost Giant. What did y'all think about when y'all saw that? Was y'all like, oh snap?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it just made me think, okay, Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Collecting everything.
Right.
But that I didn't I will say, like, that was a little surprising. Like, I didn't think we'd get all of those people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought we'd get like all the people we know.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily the people we know, but like all of the people that have a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. But I mean, I'm not like impressed or like I wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't like help make it better, or
right.
It didn't add enough value to matter.
I was gonna say, well, I'm happy they explained it because I was like, how did they get the blood from all of these people? And then there's like, okay, during the battle, all the different battles, they basically sent out a squad and collected all the DNA. I was like, okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's
now what I wonder is how they got Captain Marvel's DNA, because at no point did she bleed or like have any, like, I don't know at what point she left DNA.
I felt the same way about Groot. I was like, maybe he lost like some tree limbs or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably some hairs.
Yeah, with Groot, I mean, yeah, like you can find some leaves or like, and Groot can like cut himself and regrow. So
yeah,
I mean, because
we saw him. Oh, we got Groot, and it's just a regular tree.
Yeah, like we saw him do that with Stormbreaker. Like he cut off his arm and then had an arm. So I figure Groot was easy. There are a couple of people. I'm like, how
did they? The Frost Giant.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I mean, I'm sure Thor had to be involved in that at some point. We're not Loki. You wouldn't trust Loki with that. Maybe they got it from Loki.
But Loki can't do that.
He's a Frost Giant, though.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like the Frost Giant abilities, or at least he hasn't shown that he does.
He did in the original.
I mean, he didn't show. He didn't turn his arm into an ice sword. He just turned blue a little bit.
We got DNA. I think that's all you need is DNA. I don't know about now. Okay. I don't know because he definitely didn't show the power that they eventually used. But I will say, bro, the best action scene, honestly, the whole movie was the Gaia and the wife, the side piece.
Yeah,
putting in work.
We needed a lot more of that. We needed a lot more of that.
Yeah, because Guy got the bop gun, and she was
they used back to back putting in the work.
Yeah, that was Army of Two style. Like Priscilla knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised she made it out.
Priscilla?
Oh yeah.
I thought she was gonna die. I'm actually surprised she made it.
I didn't think she was gonna die. Like I figured, unless Gravik came himself, she wasn't going to die.
Yeah.
And since Gravik didn't show up himself, I figured she's fine.
Bro, the way she busted the window, she was like, "Oh, bet." Grabbed her backpacks, jumped in the back. I was like, "Oh yeah, you was ready for it.
She was prepared.
You was excited. Somebody broke in your house."
What do y'all think about Marvel kind of including a lot more blood now? Because we're starting to see a lot more blood, a little bit more
alien blood is usually fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, alien blood is fine.
Didn't they have? I feel like there was a human blood with somebody. I just can't remember.
That's what I thought too. Like I thought it was some blood.
Maybe it was an early episode, but
I mean, there may have been, but like I feel like with aliens, with aliens, it's kind of just whatever. Because when she cut off dude's finger, I was like, "Yep,
definitely a lot more violence."
And like Rhodey got shot in the head.
Yeah, it was a few people headshots.
Yeah, and all of them were aliens.
Yeah.
Like I can't other than the congresswoman, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Because when she died, she didn't come back. And that was kind of just in the montage of random killings. But I don't know if she got shot in the head, but yeah, there were it was mostly purple blood and
yeah. All right, we gotta rate it. Jordan, what's your rating?
Honestly, man, I feel like I rate every show different, every movie different, so can't hold me to it. You know,
we're definitely gonna do it.
I would probably give this a 6.5.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna go back and listen to our Disney Plus MCU episodes and get our rankings. I'm gonna collect them all.
I don't know if we ranked all the shows. I think we did ranking number ratings. 1, number 2, number 3. I don't think we
just ratings. I'm gonna just get just the ratings.
Or so we did a ranking, but not a rating. There we go. So we ranked them, but we didn't rate them. For me, I'm gonna say 6 because I've seen 6.5s better than this.
Agreed. Because I want to say I don't remember Miss Marvel. Maybe we did rate Miss Marvel. I don't remember.
We probably did because we reviewed that one. Like that was a full review.
Yeah.
But
I want to say 6.5 was said, but I don't remember.
Yeah, like to me, this is better than that was.
Ooh. Okay, we'll have that discussion. For me, 5.5.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? By the end of this, maybe your rating to go up, maybe mine to go down. We'll see.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's a little light here.
Do y'all feel like? Oh, what was you going to
ask?
I was gonna say, do y'all feel like we should have got do you feel like introducing Nick Fury's wife was worth it? Or do you think you would have been completely fine without him having a wife and just replace those scenes with some action or something? Like, do y'all think it added to his character?
I liked her.
I did too. I mean, I like her in anything the actress shows up in.
Aunt Janice from Fresh Prince?
Yeah. But nah, like it didn't make, sometimes like you'll see a character who's like kind of hardened and then you'll see like they have kind of like Hawkeye or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like expose you to his family. You're like, oh, it kind of warms him up a little bit. I didn't do that for me here. I don't know why.
I did that same for me.
I liked her inclusion and I liked her being in it and kind of adding to the questioning of Nick Fury and adding some more. I guess she added some depth to him, even though she kind of didn't, because all the stuff she was saying we like knew and expected. Like it wasn't really news. Like being like you were gone the whole time. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was like, okay. Like, and then even there's talks where like, you want to get back together? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
It was just like
I don't think she should have been added to the show. It didn't add nothing to his character for me.
I will say one thing that I did like was that, well, initially when I heard it, one thing that I liked was Nick Fury attributed all of his success to 2 Black women. And then I was like, wait, one of them is an alien.
Right.
So I don't know if that really counts.
Yeah, that didn't count.
But okay.
Nah,
And
one green homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually green is black. We've seen that. So,
Yeah, it's precedent. That's true.
But yeah, I liked her being in it, and I like what they were going for with her being in it. But I can't say that it was just an outright success as far as what they were trying to do. When it comes to adding depth to his character, giving him purpose, and humanizing him, and like all that. I mean, did it do some of that? Yeah, but not to the extent at which I think the plan was.
Speaking of wasted, I just want to take a moment of silence for Maria Hill. She deserved better. She
really did.
She was a soldier. She had my dude Nick's back all the time. She was a real one. She could have been in Captain America 4. She was amazing. And for her to just die, and then Nick just had this piss poor performance where he just like, oh, damn. All right. I was just like, God, like, I don't know. It was just like, what are we, like, Maria had to die for this?
I agree.
On this whack ass show, Maria Hill got to die. She was a day one.
You know, I just thought about, imagine if Phil Coulson was really in there. Like, imagine if Phil Coulson was a Skrull all the way back in Avengers 1.
That would have been dope. That would have actually kind of made sense.
Or like,
to bring him back. Yeah.
Because you know how Phil Coulson died and then was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I was thinking, like,
that would have made perfect.
There it is. That's how.
That frustrates me. That frustrates me.
I would have been so happy to see Phil back.
That's what the Skrull, like, that's what Priscilla did. She took a woman who was dying and took over her life.
That's how you make up for that loophole.
And also now he doesn't have a right hand man. I mean, he got, Priscilla, but like he had a right man. He had Maria and he had Phil. Those were his 2 go-tos. Now he lost both of them. If you bring back Phil Coulson, and also doesn't have Talos. But like, he was with Maria and Phil for, years before Talos.
Jump Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, bring back.
He did meet Talos in the 90s. But
that's true too. But I like either way, bring back Phil, the MCU would have been, could have been on the course correction. Who knows?
Bro,
I will say I'm low key. I don't even want to say these words, but am I getting superhero fatigued?
Wow, Jordan, you're falling into that. Don't do that.
I know. Maybe I know that's I keep dreading not to say those words, but maybe I am getting MCU show fatigued.
I think the issue is what's being put out is not up to the standard of quality that we've seen before. If they were putting out good shit, that you wouldn't have it. Like, the way I'm seeing it, even if there's too much, if it's all really good, then you're just mad that there's not enough time to consume all of it.
Facts.
But you're not tired of it because it's good.
Yeah.
And so I think the issue here is that the shit's not good. It's okay. It's acceptable. I guess it checks some boxes, but it's not good.
Right.
And so if it was good, you wouldn't be questioning it because it'd be good. Just like whenever Spider-Verse came out, you didn't question that. That didn't make you ask, do I have superhero fatigue? Because
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Guardians 3. Like, you didn't ask that question because the shit was good. So
don't ask nobody.
Like, that's why, like, when people say that, even like people outside of like the nerd space, I'd be like, bro, do people say that with like rom-coms? They'd be like, I'm rom-com fatigued. I'm action movie fatigued. I'm comedy fatigued. I'm like, bro, why do people act like
we're
superheroes
fatigued?
Now, and
I mean, maybe
you can get tired of stuff, or you can like get burnt out or want to see something else. But I don't think that's what this is. I think
Yeah, like
that
people don't.
if it was all good shit, you would not be bothered.
People don't go out their way to attack that particular genre whenever they're tired of. They just go move on to something new. People nowadays are like, nah, it's superhero movies. Nah, it's all of them lumped together. And I'm just like, we're just in a lull. That's it.
Yeah,
because that's why I'm saying maybe I'm Disney Plus TV show fatigued.
Well, think about it. What was the last really good one?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Loki.
Yeah,
I'd argue maybe Hawkeye, but
Hawkeye.
But like
Moon Knight was more of a disappointment for me towards the end. But when it first came out, I was hyped for it. But
hot ass.
Well, that's the thing. I wanted Moon Knight to be really good. I wanted Miss Marvel to be really good. I wanted I wanted them to be really good, and they just weren't.
Werewolf by Night.
That wasn't a TV show though.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it qualifies as a TV show,
but it was Disney Plus thing though.
It was a one shot. And that was probably the last Disney Plus item that was like worth talking about, because the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was just Like,
I'll give you
wasn't bad, but wasn't spectacular.
She-Hulk had some moments, but overall,
but like not a good show, but it had some good stuff.
And I had to look at that show as not a superhero show and more as a sitcom, and that worked out better for me.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was a comedy with superhero shit.
Yeah,
but not a superhero show that's funny.
Yeah,
because that's how I feel about Thor: Love and Thunder. Like that was a romantic comedy with superhero shit, not a superhero movie that was a comedy.
Sure, that makes sense.
Anyway, I will say, this is pretty standard for these MCU shows based on what we've seen. But that final fight.
Oh man, are we ready for that already?
I hated it so much.
Me too.
I didn't hate it as much as Moon Knight, but I did hate it. It was just disappointing. And so like Gaia just better than Gravik?
Easy.
That's what I got confused. I'm like, yo, he was still Gravik. And they just on even playing fields. You mean to tell me that whole time she could have just whooped him at stage 1?
Yeah. Like she could have beat his ass at it whenever they both just had regular super extremis power. Like she could have beat him then. And now that they're both Captain Marvel level, she can just laser and we're done. Like what are we what are we doing?
That was whack. Honestly, when I was watching it, it low-key made me angry, because then I thought about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 and how they made that a whole MCU thing. And then I got mad at the MCU for it being the MCU, because then I thought about, man, we just wasted the Super Scroll when he could have been so much better if we would have introduced him in the Fantastic Four. And then I just got all mad at the MCU again. I was pretty mad. I was like, this is stupid. Like, this was very disappointing.
This is why it should have been a movie. But
I don't know if that honestly, I don't know. If this was still going to be a story, it wouldn't even matter.
I think that's the problem. Is it would have been better, but I still don't think it would have been good. Because if with this same story, making it a movie, like I don't see how making this a movie would have been better.
I would say you probably get access to more actors because you have more money, and so maybe the thrill factor would be there.
Thrill factor's there. You get more action scenes, just obviously just because of time purposes. You're going to get more action scenes. You're going to get less dialogue.
Action scenes are one of the things that we would have, we would have been able to put more budget in that.
Right.
Yeah. And what's up, bro? What's up with these Disney Plus shows getting shorter and shorter, like on episode length? Like we started out with 50 minutes.
That was for the best.
Every episode after that, like 37 minutes.
I didn't need 50 minutes of this.
I think if you had to go through 12 episodes of this, bro, or 9.
Well, you might have been able to do a little bit more with 12 episodes, but I mean, who knows? Not this story.
This story.
But I don't think this was a great story. Like there were so many, and maybe time and budget worthy issue, but it just seems like there was so much, like they didn't have a very good idea guy.
Yeah.
Like whoever was the idea guy was just throwing out basic shit. And that was it. Like they needed somebody to say, hey, how about this? There weren't enough people doing that, or there was nobody doing that.
Yeah.
And so we came out with this, like this just felt super regular. Like not great, not spectacular, not exciting, not a good adventure, to just regular as fuck. And
Really,
I will say
yeah.
I got excited at the end of the episode though, like seeing the ramifications going forward. I got excited for that.
And that's the thing. I wanted to be excited, but I just found myself being like, they're just gonna fucking waste it. It's not it's just because I was excited about this show, and every time it feels like lately when I have been excited about something and it's because of the source material that I'm excited about it, and then we get the MCU's version, it's like, well, god damn it, that's just not what I wanted. And so I think that the reason I'm still kind of excited about the Marvels is because I'm not in my head connecting it to a comic book story that is getting me excited about it.
I'm not excited at all.
It's because there are women in it, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. And a woman, that's a black female director. Jordan, we know how you roll.
Bro, I didn't even know that. Who's the director for that? Was it called The Marvels?
Yeah, I want to touch on something that Kevin Feige kind of pissed me off. So recently he did an interview and he basically said, excuse me, I don't know the black woman's name, but
her name is Nia DaCosta.
Nia DaCosta, right? Thank you. Basically, he said in the making of the Marvels, he had to tell Nia DaCosta to like not nerd out so much. Like she was nerding out so much, like she was going so close to like, I guess, source material or something like that. And he kind of had to tell her like, you know, basically don't do that or kind of dumb it down or whatever. And I was just like, my nigga, this is your first black female director and you out here throwing this type
stifling her.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you say that? Like,
so that leads me to believe that the MCU is running more like a business than as an entertainment field, I guess. Which makes sense because that's what Disney does. Sure. And I get it, but also I hate it because, you know, the goals are entertain people and make money.
Right.
But, you know, they're prioritizing the make money part. Right. Because if it's 50-50, then I feel like at the beginning, when like early MCU was 50-50, it feels like now
75-25 in the beginning.
Now it's like 80-20.
Yeah.
Like 80-20 make money versus put out something that people will actually like and enjoy and all that. And I mean, we've seen that, like everybody has done it. That's what capitalism is, but it's just
she directed.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess her biggest movie is Candyman, the reboot, reboot from 2021. That's her biggest movie she directed.
Yeah, I didn't like that he said that. But
yeah, that's that kind of leads me to believe that he is at fault for all of the basic ass underwhelming stories that we're getting, because it sounds like he is trying to collect money from the biggest pot of people as opposed to making a good story that is actually, you know, based in comic books. It sounds like he's trying to, I guess, make it accessible for casuals and people who don't care about the comic books or who don't read the comic books, who know nothing about the comic books. He's trying to, I guess, attract the largest audience at the expense of good storytelling or comic book accuracy.
Yeah, this was weird because like he was the opposite starting out, but I mean, hey,
Exactly.
yes. But there are some rumors that he might eventually leave and start doing Star Wars stuff. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, it's annoying. And yeah, they just I don't know, man. I hang my hat and I'm like, all right, Marvel has two big ass like cards in their back pocket that they haven't played. You got the X-Men, you got Fantastic Four. So you can always kind of lean on that and go, okay, like if they get those two right, all this stuff is
I'm scared.
for naught.
I'm scared, man.
Yeah, like low key, I'm like, all right, now I'm not it. Like I'm really excited for Captain America 4, but now I'm like, are they gonna whitewash this thing again? Like, are they gonna like dumb it down, or are they gonna?
Yeah, like unfortunately, I'm in that same boat. I'm wondering. I'm starting to like this. I don't know why it's happening right now with this, but like after watching this, I'm starting to ask myself, do I still trust and believe in the MCU?
Right.
And there are a lot of people who have been asking that for a long time. There are a lot of people who have been like on the MCU is dead train forever. There are a lot of people who tapped out way before right now. Like for a lot of people, She-Hulk is what did it.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, Moon Knight is what did it. For a lot of people, I mean, Thor: Love and Thunder is what did it. There are a lot of points for different people where they kind of tapped out. And while this isn't the worst MCU thing I've seen, I was far more disappointed by this than I hoped I would be. Yeah. And, you know, I firmly understand that is due to expectations, and that's due to my knowledge of the source material and, you know, the fact that they have put out more bad than good recently. Yeah, the fact that the resume behind Endgame has just been like less than good.
Yeah.
Because there have been far more. I'm not going to say far more. It may be about half and half, but I'd say that more than half of the stuff they've put out has been unworthy of being called MCU if you look at the first three phases.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Even though the first three phases, it has its own problems.
But not this.
I just feel like there weren't as many and they weren't as bad.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the funny thing is, like, Secret Invasion, like, budget-wise, apparently, like, Secret Invasion had, like, one of the biggest budgets they've ever had for one of these shows.
And they used like, it all. Level. They used it all on episode. The opening sequence.
Oh, that too in the last episode.
Yeah.
And what even like in the last episode, what they do? Like that final fight was not worth the money that they spent on it.
It wasn't.
Like, and it wasn't worth the little like arm cameos that we saw.
Yeah,
like, oh, that's Drax's arm. Ooh.
What was Super Skrull? Did we know? Well, I guess we knew he was going to become Super Skrull because he said, I'm making a Super Skrull.
Yeah, he said we'll all be Super Skrulls or whatever.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what was Super Skrull's real name in the comics. Cause like
I thought it was Super Skrull.
No, he had a name before. Like Super Skrull's what we called him, but he had a Skrull name.
Oh, he has a name, but of course I can't say it. It's like KI_RT. Kurt. I'm just calling him Kurt.
Yes, I'd say Kurt.
But yeah, I was like, was there any? I guess we didn't know he was going to be Super Skrull technically because it's like, you know, in a lot of if you know comic books, like you know villains and stuff, real name, you kind of end up know who they becoming. But I was like, could we potentially see another Super Skrull? Maybe once the Fantastic Four rolls around and like they'll do it properly.
I mean, maybe they could. just because they've laid groundwork for it. So
Yeah.
there could be a situation where there is a Skrull who is disgruntled because of what the president said and because of, the murder. Like there's some stuff that this movie or that this show could cause that could lead us in a positive direction. And I'm hoping that the ramifications from this show matter and that they are actually going to be an issue for, like, I'm hoping that this show makes itself matter in the long term as far as the MCU and movies that we see and everything. Because otherwise, like, if this show ends up being truly pointless and not mattering at all, then that's only going to further my questioning of the validity of the MCU at this point.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I want to see Nick Fury die in his next movie and then have him recast as like a younger black dude? Is that terrible?
I mean, no, it's not terrible. I don't know if we need a Nick Fury right now. Honestly,
like, I'm okay if Nick Fury does die, then I'm good being done with Nick Fury. And I don't need Nick Fury to be a mantle. I don't need Nick Fury to, like, I just give it to somebody else entirely. They don't even have to be black. Just be done. If we're done with Nick Fury, let's be done with Nick Fury.
Yeah. They can
somebody else can be the director.
Right.
Like, but yeah, I don't need that.
Could have been Phil Coulson. He could have came back.
I know. That would have made sense.
Could have been Maria Hill. Like, because she's led S.H.I.E.L.D. before, hasn't she?
That would have been great. Yep.
Yeah, she was leader when he was gone, right?
When he was out. Yeah, he was disappeared. So yeah. I mean, it's tough out here. Are we ready for Is It Better game? Do we have anything else we want to discuss?
I don't think I have anything else about the show. Was there any like questions like y'all didn't understand, like, or anything like that? Like, there was one part I didn't understand. It was in the last episode where they showed the incubation little pod things. And maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I didn't understand what that was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Like the people that were like the real people where they were sitting in those pods.
They showed like a guy was like looking out into like a chamber or something.
Yeah, whenever she and Sonya were like, "Hey, let's work together."
Yeah, I didn't.
That room that they
were in.
This. Yeah, I know where you're talking about. I don't know either. The only thing that makes me wonder is, like, okay, the million Skrulls that are on the planet, is this what that is?
I had no idea.
That's the only thing that's what I just initially decided it was in my head. Was like, oh yeah, when Taylor said there were a million of them here, like this is what we're dealing with.
Gotcha. I missed that. I must have missed it.
I don't know if that's the case, but
and then my last question was, did that chamber get destroyed? The one that gives the
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, the Super Skrulls their power. It wasn't destroyed, right?
As far as I know, it wasn't. Because like they never nuked that area, and whenever, unless Gaia did something to it, but no, I think it's still.
So they can go back and get powers whenever they need to.
Skrulls can, technically.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they might leave it open to what, like you guys were saying, like maybe in the future.
And also, and maybe this is, me just being nitpicky, but whenever the humans were abducted and had their minds, like, they were put into stasis pretty much, at the end of the day, they were still in the middle of radiation. So
I didn't even think about that.
Like, they shouldn't have just been alive.
That is a very good point.
Because they didn't have they didn't have masks on or anything.
Or no pills and nothing like that.
Yeah, like they were just in there. And maybe it's alien bullshit, but yeah, I feel like they They shouldn't have just been alive in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a valid point. Somebody should have thought of that. To be honest.
Yeah, like they all should have. Like, if you're going to keep them alive, then
in pods. Yeah,
like they should have been. They shouldn't have just been loose.
Right.
Yeah, and I guess this means also for people, if they didn't catch it, Rhodey was not able to use his legs, and we saw him get injured in Infinity War. Which one he got shot down?
He got Civil
War.
Civil War is when he got shot.
Yeah, so he got shot down. He couldn't use his legs, so that means we've had this Skrull impersonating Rhodey since then.
Well, not necessarily, because he had mechanical, like he had technology helping him. So like, because when he's in the Iron Man suit, he can.
Well, he said he's been there a long time. I guess a long time could mean anything, because
I was wondering,
it could have still been after Endgame, right?
Yeah, because I would imagine, I assume that all Skrull infiltration of people that we know and saw was post Endgame. Like, I'm under the impression that everyone who fought in Endgame was themselves.
So I saw
and a lot of got snatched after.
A lot of talk about this, and people were like making like definitive statements. I'm like, how do y'all know? Like, he didn't say any time period.
Well, because he said a long time, and he couldn't walk.
I mean, but he couldn't walk. Okay, so like, let's say,
but he couldn't walk in Infinity War.
Exactly,
but he was still
exactly.
He was still doing stuff.
The human one got shot down. His legs are done. He couldn't walk. So like, yeah. So like, he could have. Let's say
but he was doing physical therapy and had the
so they're saying
legs and all that.
Because the Skrull can walk. I mean, I don't think that defines anything, right? Like,
I don't either, because I'm under the impression that like the Skrull probably kidnapped him when he didn't have his legs on. And there'd be no I'm sure those legs are heavy, so when the Skrulls took him back to base, they weren't about to take the legs too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I'm a Skrull, like, even if I copy somebody in a wheelchair, does that mean my legs don't work too? Like,
yeah, so I assume that technology is like how he was just mobile again.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know.
Because whenever
it goes back to
whenever I think of Rhodey like talking to the people and having like meetings and stuff in Infinity War and Endgame and all that, like he's mobile because technology.
I guess we still lost because we don't know when Ross got kidnapped. Like, I guess we don't know when any of this happens.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of Secret Invasion, is like we're not supposed to, but also like I feel like they just wasted a good opportunity to really do something.
Yeah. Like, the conversations we're having now should have been a weekly conversation throughout the series. This should have been a super relevant show. You know how many people I've talked to that had no clue this show even existed?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many people were like, so it started? Like, how is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was like, why are we not, why is there not like, why is the internet not breaking over this?
Right.
And so, yeah. And it's because it was just underwhelming. Like, there wasn't, whenever people would ask me about it, like, I couldn't in good conscience, like, recommend it or be like, oh, yeah, you got to watch this one. Like, you don't.
Yeah. Well, I remember back in the day, bro, watch an episode. I'd be at work like, yo, you watch such and such? Yo, that part was fire, huh? Now it's just like
with this show, I didn't even keep up with it. I watched the last 2 episodes the same day.
Oh, yeah. I usually watch them day of back in the day. Or even like the latest, what was it, She-Hulk, even like was Marvel. But this one, I was like, I can wait till.
No, like I was behind and it was fine. Like, I wasn't worried about it. I wasn't excited about it. I wasn't like, ooh, gotta watch that episode. Just no, I watched it for y'all so that we could talk about it.
Right. Okay. Anything else? I want to do my is it better? And then we can do our final rankings. Hopefully, maybe Jordan, you change your mind or something.
I think that's it for me. I do wish this show was just a lot more thrill. than what it was.
Yeah. Like with what they had at their disposal, this should have been far more thrilling than it was, because it doesn't make sense that you have shows that have a lot less material that were far more compelling.
Exactly. Like they didn't even do the spy thriller thing really well.
Okay.
Or,
I do got one more
the
thing.
like infiltration and all that, like the lack
Yeah.
of trust. Like there was so much here, and yeah, it was just wasted.
Yeah.
I do have one more thing. Okay, so I just kind of looked it up as we was talking, and according to this website, that it says basically everybody appears to be wearing the same thing that they had on when they got first captured. And so Rhodey had on his hospital gown, giving clear intention that when they took him, it was during the accident, you know, in Captain America Civil War, because he still had on his hospital uniform and he couldn't walk. But then now I'm like, if that is the case, why was this scroll doing everything he was doing in Infinity War, in Endgame, and even meeting up with Falcon in the Winter Soldier? I mean, not the Winter Soldier, but in the show. But I'm like, why is he doing all that then? Like, what is he doing it for?
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I get it.
I guess playing the long game and convincing the world that that's still Rhodey.
I did see a thing today that talked about how. So I don't know if you remember, like in Endgame, him and Nebula went to the planet to grab one of the, I think it was a Power Stone, and she puts her hand into the thing, and her hands get like messed up, and she goes back to Rhodey and is like, and her hands messed up. And she's like, I wasn't always like this, like saying like I didn't always look like this, and then Rhodey was like, neither did I.
And I thought that was him referring to his legs.
Yeah. So, and some people are like, they think that refers to him being a Skrull. So
I mean, I don't think they was thinking that far. I don't know. I don't give them now. That was if they did that, that's some pretty good thinking far ahead.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just conveniently fit in this.
I think he was talking about his legs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think
Nebula give a damn about his legs. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, no, I'm saying for him. Like saying I did, because her arm was all fucked up. His legs are all fucked up.
Right.
Like that. Yeah. So that's.
I don't know if Marvel's thinking that far ahead, which they could have, but that's
I doubt
a stretch.
I think those two things just happened to line up.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Which is fine.
I think. Yeah, I don't think that Marvel has the forethought to do that. I think that fans do, though.
Yeah.
I think that like there are enough people watching this that can make those connections, and I think that honestly, some of us are smarter than the people doing this, and have more ideas and are able to, make better connections. It's like, oh shit, that wasn't even on purpose.
Yeah, happens a lot.
Yeah, but I'm done now.
Okay, all right. Now, folks, we're going to do our game. It's called Is It Better? So what I'll do here today is I'm going to name shows, and we all will say if it's better or not. Basically, pretty straightforward game. All right. In our first category, fellas, this is all, obviously the show we just spoke of, Secret Invasion. Is it better than Moon Knight?
Yes.
No.
Oh, we got a Spenser with a yes, and we got Jordan with a no. Any thoughts in between there?
No, I don't think so. I think the action in Moon Knight was better than any action that happened in this show.
What action in Moon Knight?
There was the one action sequence where Moon Knight was fighting in the streets. I think that might have been the last episode.
I would say that was fire. I'll give you that. The acting is definitely better in Moon Knight.
The acting is better.
That episode 5 in Moon Knight, when you got the whole backstory for him, that was better than any scene in this show. That's still probably top 5 to me scenes in the MCU, not MCU, but the Disney Plus MCU verse. But yeah, Brandon, what do you think? Better or worse?
Worse. I'll give Moon Knight the nod. I'm not a Moon Knight guy at all, but I would say the fight when he was in the one particular like suit, that gave me a lot.
Oh yeah,
obviously the execution of that look was fire. The suit kind of puts it over the top. The acting, Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's miles better, but it's definitely better. Like if I'm rating this as 6.5, I mean, at a 5.5, I'm doing Moon Knight like a six and a
Yeah,
half.
and I'm going by like rewatchability as well. Like I would rather rewatch Moon Knight than this.
Okay, I definitely understand.
I
All
would
right, all right, all right. Next, folks, we have Secret Invasion. Is it better than Miss Marvel?
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I did too. I was very disappointed by Miss Marvel, but I think that the family will get me through Miss Marvel. I think that the interactions with her family are worth the show. And I think that because of the interactions with her family, I'd like to say that Miss Marvel's better, but Miss Marvel in a similar vein, like the stuff that they didn't do was just and like how stuff happened and the stakes that they tried to incorporate and all of that was just poorly done. There were a lot of things in Miss Marvel that didn't make sense to me, and I think I might I think I might think this is
You can say it.
no,
You can
I
say it.
haven't decided yet. Because that first episode of Miss Marvel was really good.
Yeah.
This
And
first episode was good too, in my opinion.
I mean, Miss Marvel's first episode was better than this first episode.
They can nail a first episode. I'll give you that. MCU Disney Plus era can nail a first episode.
Yeah, they can get you locked in, and they can
That
get you to be like,
episode.
all right, I'll watch it to the end. But yeah, I think that with everything that happened, I think I'm gonna say Secret Invasion was better.
I mean, I could have told you that within the first 10 seconds. Yeah, Secret Invasion, though. Yeah. Miss Marvel is just also disappointing.
You're saying Secret Invasion is better than Miss Marvel. That's what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
What you think? You think Miss Marvel's better?
Hell, 10 times better. 10 times better.
Like I'll give you like 3 times, not 10 times.
Yeah, 10. That's a little extra.
Yeah, 10 times better.
You're doing too much.
Miss Marvel, first of all, main character, 10 times better. Family or cast, 10 times better. Villain, no. We know that, right? But you take away the Pakistan episode of Miss Marvel, yeah, it's not even close. So yeah, I'm definitely going Miss Marvel's better. But okay, all right.
I think Miss Marvel had too many misses for me.
Same.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that Secret Invasion had a lot of missed opportunities. Miss Marvel made a lot of bad decisions.
Okay, I mean, I kind of see that. I mean, I'm
not saying that it's
player,
just like a bunch. Like, I'm not saying that it's just a drastic difference by any means. Yeah. Because Miss Marvel, there are some things about Miss Marvel that I really liked. There are some things that they did well, and I'd say that the things that Miss Marvel did well are far better than the things that this show did well.
Gotcha.
But the things that Miss Marvel did poorly are more egregious to me.
All right. Is Secret Invasion better than Hawkeye?
No, absolutely not.
Nah, I give you that one.
Hawkeye was a good show. This was an all right show at best. Like, if I'm being generous, this show was all right. Hawkeye was good.
Okay. All right. Is Secret Invasion better than She-Hulk?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Once I stopped looking at She-Hulk as a superhero TV show and more as a sitcom, I enjoyed it. And I might be crazy for saying this, but I'm going to go with She-Hulk over this.
The thing I'm trying to get over is the end of She-Hulk. Like, the rest of it, yes.
Like it had comedy in there. The comedy was good for me.
Yeah, the for episodes 1 through 8, yeah, but that last one,
What happened in the last episode again?
where she talks
the whole Kevin thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was whack. But
that's
I'll still go She-Hulk over Secret Invasion.
that's the thing that I think, because I didn't hate Secret Invasion, like it wasn't just trash to me, and so I think that's why these are difficult. I don't know, because again, that last episode of She-Hulk really did a number.
I will say She-Hulk had the best episode by far of any of them with the Daredevil episode. Now that is obviously an alley, an added bonus. You have Daredevil in your episode, obviously. But I mean, that's what happened. So
yeah, I think I probably enjoyed She-Hulk more. So I think I'm gonna go She-Hulk. Or I guess my answer is no. Secret Invasion is not better than She-Hulk.
I think some little incel kids going crazy right now. Like, no, She-Hulk is not good. Like they probably wow.
Yeah, She-Hulk
is Megan Thee Stallion was twerking. Yeah,
even if She-Hulk is not good, Secret Invasion was not good.
Yeah, thanks,
Brandon. What did you think?
No, I definitely She-Hulk is better. She-Hulk had some quality episodes. The finale was garbage, but yeah, it had some quality episodes.
I mean, even the scenes like with them in therapy talking, like that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
like,
that was good.
Like sitting around, that was good.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that happened in court was funny. Like I enjoyed She-Hulk.
Yeah, Leapfrog. I was just saying, him. He was hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed She-Hulk, but I didn't just enjoy this show.
Yeah, main character was better in that one too. Okay. Is Secret Invasion better than What If?
Yes.
Okay.
That is also a yes for me. What If was so not good. They had one good episode, in my opinion. Some people might say 2 to 3. I'm giving it 1.
It had a few good episodes. There were some things I really liked about What If, but I just I don't know why it didn't do it for me too. Like because they did some stuff really well. Like the Hank Pym episode, I thought was actually really good. The Doctor Strange episode was good. Yeah, the Killmonger episode was really good.
I love the T'Challa, Killmonger, and then one
Doctor
more.
Strange.
I didn't like the Doctor Strange one as much.
Was it the zombies one? I actually didn't mind. I actually didn't mind the zombies.
I didn't mind the zombie one either. Yeah.
But, see, that's the thing. I really like thinking about it. I really liked the Hank Pym episode, the Killmonger episode, of course, and the Doctor Strange episode wasn't bad. The Black Widow episode,
Yeah.
The Captain Britain episode, Yeah. Right. That episode, So, I
agree with you there. Definitely better. Yeah, What If was a huge disappointment. All right. Lastly, we're not going to do low key. We know what that is. We're not going to do WandaVision. We know what time that is.
And we don't need to do
our last
Captain Falcon either.
Our last one.
We don't need to do Captain Falcon.
Falcon.
We don't need to do it.
Winter Soldier, which is better. I mean, is it better?
We don't need to do that.
Jordan, what do you think?
No, I mean, I agree. Falcon and Winter Soldier is better than this.
Like you want to say 10 times, like that's 10 times. Like, and that's the thing. I think that it looked like Falcon and Winter Soldier was the template that they used to build this show. And they strayed too far because this was not that. Like this was supposed to be a better version of that, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Do y'all think Nick Fury could have saved Talos on that scene where he just left him?
Bro, I forgot about that. You just pissed me off again. My bro just left him. I was like, he could have saved him, right? I'm pretty sure he could have saved him.
He was going to get him, but the president was more important at the end of the day.
I get it, but you don't leave a soldier behind, man.
That's again like this is Nick Fury. This is Nick's fault.
Nick Fury is one person, and he had to choose between the president of the United States and his alien best friend.
So you don't think he had time to get him?
He was still carrying the president. Like
No.
he was
No.
actively-
The president was in the car. Remember, the president was in the car. He looked back at Talos on the ground like, should I go get him? Should I not? He stood there for a second, and then he decided just to get in the car.
Well, I don't remember that because Talos was already being carried to him by the time he was gonna go get him. So
No,
somebody
he was
like Gravik had gotten Talos off the ground and was helping him over there as well by the time Nick Fury got him in the car, I thought.
No, am I tripping? What do you
no,
remember?
so Nick Fury's in the driver's seat. President, he already got the president in there, and he looks over. Talos is on the ground, and then he decides, I gotta go. Eventually, like basically, yeah, I gotta hurry up because president is, gotta get saved or whatever. But yeah, he definitely, if he wanted to, he could have made it possibly work. Now, somebody maybe would have died, and he might not have the option. But just the lack of damn, that's tough. And then drive off.
His car was bulletproof, right?
Oh yeah, I would have absolutely gotten in the car, driven the car to Taylor.
That's what I'm saying. I thought, I'm like, yo, why didn't he just drive the car right there and pick up Taylor's your car is bulletproof? You'd have been good.
Yeah.
But who am I?
Definitely made Nick Fury look bad.
But at the end of the day, I understand prioritizing the president of the United States.
Right.
Under the circumstances. Like I get that part of it, but yeah.
Also, he by doing that, he basically exposed the Skrulls, making things worse. Because now he say the president. Now the president trying to off all Skrulls.
Yeah, but he didn't expect the president to react that way.
True. What if the president is a Skrull? Does other Skrulls know Skrulls? I just said Skrulls 3 times.
No, because if they Skrulls can't even tell, because if they could, Gravik would have known that Gaia was a Skrull.
I guess that's a good point.
So yeah, even Skrulls are not able to really tell.
That's crazy.
Because they match you entirely.
That's true. But yeah, no, good point. Like, as y'all know, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is my second favorite MCU Disney Plus show. And yeah, this was, they was trying to get, that feel, but they didn't get anywhere close to it to me. So yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, that is concludes our.
Yeah, we did not need to talk about that one.
Some people, man, bro, I be looking at lists and I looked at on Screen Rant, they have a Disney Plus ranked TV show list. They have Secret Invasion last. They have Falcon and the Winter Soldier 7th.
Wow.
And the Falcon and Winter Soldier disrespect is wild to me, especially as we've seen all these really mid shows come out since. I'm like, oh wow.
That's the only show that came out after it that you could even discuss maybe better than it, to me, was Hawkeye. Because I have Hawkeye as number 2. But no, nothing other than Hawkeye. Well, and Loki, because Loki
but yeah.
But yeah, no. Falcon and Winter Soldier needs to be in the top half, period.
Yeah, that never made sense to me. Because think about, we had so many conversations after each episode, relevant conversations. To me, so many moments. And that's what's big to me. If you have big moments, okay, now I can talk about it. But yeah, that concludes our game.
Do y'all think the MCU should slow down now?
I thought they have.
I thought they should slow down for the entirety of Phase 4. They've needed to slow down.
So we get about 3 movies a year and probably about 3 shows.
See, that's a lot.
So this year we've had Guardians, we're getting the Marvels. Is that it?
That's it. We're not getting that much this year.
Oh, maybe they are slowing down. What TV shows we had this year from Marvel?
I don't think
we had. And that's it. We might get Loki too. We might.
Okay,
might
maybe
be
they have
24.
slowed down. Maybe I thought about
Was
maybe slowing
Ant-Man
down. The
this year?
quality will get better.
Ant-Man
Ant-Man was
this
this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Ant-Man, Guardians, and
Marvels.
The Marvels.
So I guess they have slowed down. I was like, maybe slowing down would increase the storytelling. But hell, with the saga or the SAG after stuff going on, ain't no telling where we about to be in 2024.
Yeah, I know. Because I
Unfortunate.
know like Blade had to stop production. There's a bunch of these movies that had to stop due to this strike. So.
Are we influencers? Should we be talking about these movies? They said influencers are not
I
supposed to be
know.
talking about this.
Kiss my ass. Yeah, I don't.
Are we influencers or just not yet?
No. Nope.
Not yet.
Nope.
I was gonna say I don't get checks that say influencer on them. So
yeah.
Once I start
Until
getting
then.
checks, then
Oh, you're gonna be Uncle Tom, huh? You're gonna sell out, huh?
You will too.
No, once we get checks, we can abide by the SAG rules. But otherwise,
yeah, like if y'all are paying me to follow some rules, then all right. But no,
y'all
right now, do what I want,
bro. Oh, that's crazy.
How's that selling out? What am I gonna abide by rules if I'm not a part of it?
It was like Captain America 5 come out, but you can't talk about it. Brandon,
I'm being that thing like, hey man, that new Cat 5. Yeah. That new Cat 5 is fire. Like I will speak about it until you put me under the rules.
They're gonna put you under the rules. Brandon gonna want to talk about it.
Hey man, it's because one of my Straw Hat Goofy. Yeah, he got in trouble for doing that.
I saw that.
It's a lot of them get in trouble.
We're not on his level yet, though.
Yeah, he's an influencer. That's his thing. So I mean, it makes sense.
Shout out Straw Hat Goofy. I like him.
Yeah, shout out to him.
So, okay. Re-rank.
I gave it a 6.5, man. Honestly, after talking about it, I will go down to a 6.
It's
a little disappointing, yeah.
Okay.
It's a little disappointing. What about y'all?
I'm leaving it at a 6. I didn't hate it, but disappointing is an understatement.
Fellas, I'm gonna go down to a 5. Just didn't do it for me. And again, my biggest pain point, maybe it's fair, maybe it isn't. It's just my star player that wasn't ready to play. And the show is based off of a person who doesn't have power, so you got to deliver. And it just didn't hit. So
okay,
that's tough. Well,
yeah, but y'all can let us know if y'all agree, or not.
Yeah, and if you want to, get in contact with us, Facebook group, that is the best place where you can get in contact with all three of us. We are all in there. We're always talking, and that is where you can find us. If there isn't anything else, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciate it.
And forever melanated.